Samsung ruled the flip-style phone space for years with its Z Flip devices up until last year when the Motorola Razr Plus 2023 dethroned the Flip. This year's Galaxy Z Flip 6 aims to reverse the course and get back its title as one of the best foldable phones. Obviously, all the usual upgrades are in tow with this charming little flippable, like its new 50MP main camera, more durable design, and more functional flex window display. These hardware changes are good, but they are supplemented by the same Galaxy AI features I found helpful in saving me time with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, plus a few new AI capabilities. If that's not enough, there is a much bigger emphasis on personalizing the Galaxy Z Flip 6. These are all fine and dandy for any phone release. However, it's going to take a lot to convince people to shell out an additional $100 more now that the Samsung has raised the price of the Galaxy Z Flip 6. In my Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 review, I will tell you if all these new AI features and upgrades justify that higher $1,099 starting price for this phone. At first glance, it doesn't look like much has changed with the design of the Galaxy Z Flip 6, which sports a familiar trim and aesthetic as last year's Galaxy Z Flip 5. The phone remains incredibly compact when closed, and its armor aluminum frame gives the Flip a solid feel in the hand. However, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 is not as ergonomic as I'd like because its flatter edges. The only visible difference with the design this time around is how the outlines of the camera lenses are accented by the same paint job as the phone, giving the phone a much more pleasing contrast. Speaking of trims, I really like the pastel-like color Samsung's using for the Galaxy Z Flip 6, like my blue colored review unit. It's better made too, with a matte finish that prevents smudges and fingerprints from darting up the Z Flip 6. The size and design of the flex window also looks identical to late year, complete with the same fin cutout on the bottom right where the cover display meets the cameras. While this keeps a design identity for the Galaxy Z Flip 6, I was hoping that Samsung would follow Motorola's lead by increasing the display size even more. Samsung did increase the Flip 6's durability with a new dual rail hinge design, giving the phone a more responsive feel whenever I close it. More importantly, however, the crease in the middle of the phone is much more subdued. In fact, I'd argue it's less noticeable than the Razr Plus 2024 crease. My only gripe about the Galaxy Z Flip 6 design is that it's notoriously hard to open because of its flat edges and the tight seam between the two sides. I wish there was a lip of some kind around the edge, because even getting my fingernails in between the two halves to properly open, so unfolding the phone one-handed is harder. On another note, I am delighted by the dose of personalization that's added to the Flip 6 when it's paired with the new Flip suitcases that combine interactive block screens to the flex window. There are even a couple of new ones I checked out with built-in LEDs that light up the back of the phone, which takes power via the phone's wireless charging. These add-ons go a long way to make people take notice of the phone. If you look solely at the specs, you will find that there is nothing immediately different about the displays on the Galaxy Z Flip 6. That goes for both its inner and outer display. The latter's a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED with a dynamic refresh rate up to 120Hz, while the outer screen is a 3.4-inch AMOLED touchscreen with a 60Hz refresh rate. While I am not opposed to these specs, I still wish that Samsung increased the size of its outer display at the very least, more so after Motorola added a larger screen to the exterior of the Razr Plus 2024. What I am more concerned about is how these displays perform. Samsung's claim of 2600 nits for the inner display is bold, but our benchmark testing reveals a peak brightness of 1942 nits. I'm actually impressed by the result because it surpasses the Galaxy Z Flip 5's 1504 nit reading, which means the Z Flip 6 is much easier to see outdoors on sunny days. However, the Z Flip 6 doesn't get as bright as Motorola Razr's Plus 2024 peak output of 2158 nits. Holding the two side by side is one another and playing the same video, my eyes can easily tell the Razr's screen is brighter than the Flip's. That's also true of the phone's outer displays, as Motorola's larger, more detailed panel is a notch brighter in plain view of the sun. Despite this, I do prefer how the Galaxy Z Flip 6's Super AMOLED display casts the better contrast and punchier colors, perfect for watching videos or the occasional gaming season. The 3.4-inch flex window on the Galaxy Z Flip 6 becomes more customizable than before. Not only can you swipe through the various widgets on this display, but there is now the option to combine multiple widgets into the one home screen layout, making it much more convenient to see important things without opening the phone. I also love the new interactive lock screens that respond to touch and movement, like one with a donut that moves around the lock screen whenever you tilt or rotate the Galaxy Z Flip 6. While all of these new personalization options with the flex window are great, accessing full apps still requires a workaround that involves downloading the Good Lock app. Although it requires a few steps to set up, I'm still confused why Samsung neglects to make this a native feature, because it gives the flex window more utility. For example, it's perfect for when I just want to scroll my social media apps to watch endless video reels while I'm sitting on the train headed for my next stop. I am very excited for the cameras in the Galaxy Z Flip 6. That's because the phone now features an upgraded 50MP main camera paired with 12MP ultra-wide lens. The former is a huge step up from the Z Flip 5's 12MP camera, but it is made better because of how the Galaxy Z Flip 6 leverage pixel binding to offer a reasonable 2x zoom with optical lag quality. This is the smarter way to approaching the camera, seeing that it effectively offers the range in most triple camera setups, but with a more compact dual camera arrangement instead. There is also a new camcorder mode, just like on the Razr Plus 2024, that gives a nostalgic feel when the phone's folded in the halfway position, complete with zoom control at your fingertips. Another new feature is the intelligent way the Galaxy Z Flip 6 can frame my shots with AI zoom. No matter who I am shooting, whether it's just myself or a group of people, the AI zoom will automatically frame the shot correctly. Similar to Samsung's Galaxy S flagships, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 benefits from a rich camera app that's filled with all the modes you'd want in a phone and a few extras like hyperlapse, dual recording, and portrait video. There is even a pro video mode with full manual control, which few camera apps offer. I also love how the flex window can be turned on to act as a preview screen, making it perfect for blogging and self-recordings. As a videographer, these features are a tremendous help. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 is undoubtedly a phone for creators with its rich set of features and tools, but ultimately its camera performance will show me if it's worthy of being a best camera phone contender. Here are some camera samples of Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6. Powered by the same chip in Samsung's Galaxy S24 flagship devices, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 leans on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for all of its muscle power. I am instantly attuned to the fluid actions of navigating around the software, since just about every movement is met with the tight responses. Furthermore, it extends to other aspects of the experience, including my regular routines, running apps, and switching between them. Benchmark results reveal what I suspected initially: the Galaxy Z Flip 6 is a powerhouse in the flip phone space. Geekbench single and multi-core scores for the Z Flip 6 have it registering scores of 2091 and 7022 respectively, which are incrementally better than the previous Z Flip 5. Graphics processing results are just as equally impressive, with the Galaxy Z Flip 6 maintaining smooth average frame rate of 113.45 frames per second with 3D Marks for Life Unlimited test. Again, it's a big improvement over the Flip's predecessor, but I can see it in games like Modern Combat and Age of Origins that I frequently play. The action doesn't stutter during graphically intensive sequences like when battles occur in heavily settled territories in Age of Origins. Beyond that, I am also happy to report that the Galaxy Z Flip 6 can juggle 3 apps simultaneously without any major impact to its experience, combining a multi-window mode that stacks 2 apps together on screen with the pop-up view feature that puts an app into a small window. The Z Flip 6's performance was still responsive, running 3 apps simultaneously. Samsung's One UI 6.1.1 runs on top of Android 14 on the Galaxy Z Flip 6. The aesthetic look familiar for anyone who is used a recent Galaxy phone, but this year's Flip phone comes out of the box with the same suite of Galaxy AI features first introduced by the S24 series earlier this year. These include things such as instant slow-mo, generative edit, note assist, transcript assist, and much more. They function the same way as they do on the S24, with some being more useful in saving me time with my day-to-day activities. It also comes with Circle to Search and Google Gemini, although you can't run Circle to Search on the Flex window display, but Gemini works like a charm on the smaller screen. I am still a little annoyed that the Galaxy Z Flip 6 doesn't natively let me run full apps on the Flex window display. Instead, I am forced to go through the same workaround as before with the Flip 5 by downloading the Good Look app through Samsung's Galaxy Store. After that's all taken care of, I am able to access even greater utility with the outer screen, much like how the Razer Plus 2024 does it natively. Samsung introduces a few new AI features with its latest foldable phones, as well as the optimizations that make them work more effectively with the external displays on those devices. Here is all of them that I got to check out on the Flip 6. Photo Assist through the Gallery app. Photo Assist lets me take selfies and photos I have taken of myself and transform them into drawings, sketches, and 3D models with the help of generative AI. I get a good chuckle seeing what AI creates with my likeness, but it's not perfect all the time because it produced some oddball images that includes me with 4 eyes. What would I use these AI generated sketches for? Perhaps switching my avatar for some of my social media accounts. Photo Ambient. In addition to the AI generated wallpapers I can create, there is also another option called Photo Ambient specifically for the lock screen wallpaper. It works best when I use photos of landscapes I have captured with the camera, which Photo Ambient will use to change its look in real time based on the weather and time. For example, I have seen it transform into a warmer color tone right for bedtime. Auto Zoom. This AI feature takes the hassle of framing a shot by automatically zooming in the camera app when it detects people. It dynamically adjusts the zoom appropriately to include everyone, but I still sometimes manually adjust it to get the composition I want, even if it means having more dead space in the frame. Interpreter mode. Functionally, it's the same here as it is with the Galaxy S24 by allowing for real-time translation between two people speaking. But the difference here is how much more practical it becomes when it's used in conjunction with the Flex window display by allowing both parties to see the translation on their respective displays when the Flip 6 is folded halfway. Suggested replies. The Galaxy AI feature is exclusive only to the Z Flip 6 and offers AI generated message replies that appear on the Flex window display. But for what reason I haven't been able to properly test it out after following instruction of how to set it up. I will revisit this as soon as I get it to work. For a flip style phone, the Z Flip 6 is pretty adept at multitasking with upwards of 3 apps running simultaneously. However, I wish more apps were optimized for flex mode apart from the native offerings and some Google apps. Take for example Google Photos, which I initially suspected would shift photos and video to the top half of the screen in flex mode, but it doesn't. Beyond all of the AI features, the one thing I'm curious to find out is if more apps have been optimized to work in flex mode, like the hands-free experience of putting the phone down and shooting selfies. And of course, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 also benefits from the same 7 years of software and security updates as the Galaxy S24. Somehow, Samsung is able to cram in a larger 4000 mAh battery into the Z Flip 6 from 3700 mAh in the Z Flip 5, all while keeping the same bezel profile as before. Along with the power efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, the Galaxy Z Flip 6 easily carries me through a full working day with a single charge. In our battery benchmark test, however, the new phone's gains are minimal at best. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 reaches an average time of 11 hours and 1 minute, which is underwhelming because I was expecting a substantially better result than the Z Flip 5's mark 9 hour and 52 minute. Given the better year-over-year gains I saw the S23 and S24, I was hoping for an improved result from Galaxy Z Flip 6. More so when the Razer Plus 2024 has the same battery capacity while still managing to last around 14 hours in our testing. Another annoying thing worth pointing out is that Samsung again hasn't improved the charging speeds with the Galaxy Z Flip 6, so it is still stuck on a slower 25W wired speed and 15W wireless. The Flip gets up to 55% charge after 30 minutes, which is still decent, but the phone could post better results if it offered a faster charging speed. I genuinely like the Galaxy Z Flip 6. It's a charming flip phone with more utility than the average slate, while it's still offering one of the best-in-class cameras among foldables. There are also the handful of new Galaxy AI features that add a dash of extra convenience into the mix. Despite all of this, it's hard to overlook how Samsung is demanding $100 more for this phone with a higher cost in tow. The Galaxy Z Flip 6 doesn't convince me enough that it's doing more or performing better than the competition, and I don't have to look far because the Razer Plus 2024 proves my point. Not only does it have a much longer battery life and brighter screen, Motorola still manages to throw in a larger, high-resolution outer screen. Given the $100 premium this foldable now commands, I was hoping for so much more with the Z Flip 6 to make it a compelling reason for people to upgrade or switch to it. Unless you find a deal that's hard to pass up, Samsung doesn't do as good of a job at convincing me that there is $100 worth of improvements in this year's device.